Yo guys, I'm Truzuo tracking too. My homemade jet boat is terrifying. This is about I did a thing. Many people recommended to watch this video, so we're gonna be checking it out. Let's go.
This is the loudest thing my neighbors have ever heard.
I don't doubt it. Oh my god. Jesus almighty. In the middle of like his garage.
I'm gonna take off my ears every time I run it.
Of course.
And today, I'm gonna see the top speed of this baby. In my safest video yet, where I don't get arrested or burn my
safest video.
I destroyed the jet engine.
Alright, so I already have.
So this is using his other video, like his homemade jet engine. So I'm glad we reacted to that. So if you haven't seen that one, this is how he built it before, and he built like a swing out of it. So he's turning it into a jet boat. Oh my god, he's gonna make another one. This is gonna be crazy.
One pulse jet, which sat on a swing.
Yeah, it's pulse jet, that's what it is.
For me to be on. So my safer idea is to put it on this tiny boat. But first, I need to make the pulse jet self-starting.
I would have made the boat a little
bigger. It takes
bigger.
an annoying amount of time to start with a leaf blower, which is funny when it burns my mate.
Fire in the hole.
That's not a good idea.
I want to just press a button and have it turn on. And I think I can do it by just fiddling around with the fuel line and making it so it pulls in air and not just gas. So its first explosion has enough force to pull more air in and get it started. So I cut out my fuel line and put it in a better spot. And by better, I mean trying completely random locations until it felt right. And then used a tissue to check how much airflow there is.
I'm not even going to pause that because I don't even want to know.
And I think that's a good sign. So I welded it up and gave it a go.
In a garage that's closed on that side? Like, why?
And it's definitely less funny when that happens to me and not my mate.
Jesus,
so I better
burnt.
not look down the exhaust.
Oh my god. Why wouldn't you have this face the outside? And like right next to your motorcycle, which has gasoline in it, like
to this guy, Build and Pulse Jets, who's one of the kings of making pulse jets on YouTube. And after talking,
a whole channel made about it. That's crazy.
Changes I could make, including just opening the gas quicker and threatening to harm the pulse jet's children. So I tried that.
Like what I did to your brother? Huh? Do ya?
Was something out of clay? Oh my Jesus! Sound like a shotgun blast.
So I did it again. And again.
I guess that guy was right. Just like, it's like a flick of the wrist and it immediately jump starts. Yeah, I would maybe do the outside. That wall over there is probably charred all it can be.
How to do it, go check out his channel. And I'm really curious how this pulse jet sounds from far away, as when I put a decibel reader near it, I got 150 decibels.
Yeah, dude, oh my god, his toe is like black and blue. That's disgusting. I'm not even gonna go back.
Why my head hurts. So if I
you're doing it in an enclosed garage too.
An Arduino and a laptop. And then using the sponsor of today's video, AnyDesk, I could turn on the pulse jet without being anywhere near it. Or use it to access my computer without being there, which is actually very useful. Let's say cops are coming over for something dodgy I've done. I can get remote access to my computer and then delete anything I want. AnyDesk allows you to manage and access your devices from anywhere in the world with low latency and low bandwidth. Meaning, if your parents are old and don't know how to use the TikTok, you can log onto their computer and help them with any technical support remotely. Or you can access your own computer remotely and do editing or anything else you want. AnyDesk is free for personal use and allow custom plans for businesses, and it's so easy to use. AnyDesk is also a pretty sick company, and they told me they will pay for whatever crazy and dangerous video ideas you come up with. So if you have any ridiculous video ideas that you want me to try, like turning the pulse jets into a missile and then bombing New Zealand, submit them to anydesk.com/science. And if your idea gets picked, you'll win some prizes. Big thank you to AnyDesk for sponsoring this video. So now I'm going to try it on the boat.
Oh god. In the middle of the night, you're going to wake up the neighbors. That doesn't seem very stable. Like there's no brackets. Maybe turn it off. Maybe turn it off. That just seems like too little support.
That looks alright, but I reckon it needs more thrust, as I wanted it to go through the garage wall. So I'm going to
of course. This is also a new garage I noticed.
It just increases the mass flow by pulling in more air for the pulse jet to move.
Did he try to use this before when he took it off?
And I carefully made a hole in the boat.
Why would you do that? Oh my god, and then you're
some pins in the old weld holes and pushed it back in place. And at least if it doesn't work, the pulse jet now has a bigger.
At least some of you're gonna weld that back up on the bottom. You don't want that water getting in there. I love how it doesn't even have it clamped
I
down.
learned anything from that, as I've got no way of comparing it to the old pulse jet.
Yeah.
So I pulled out the scale. And then I did a comparison test between augmenter on and augmenter off. But I forgot to turn on the scale when using the augmenter, which counts as a reading of 0 thrust, which means no augmenter wins. But before I cut it off, I want to try one more thing. Using the augmenter like an afterburner and injecting more gas into the exhaust, which will hopefully double the thrust.
Oh my
for
god.
some reason.
This guy is legit just a psycho. 2 propane tanks for this one
I wasn't
thing.
very good at birthday cakes as a kid, as obviously the pulse jet just blows out the flame. So I made a thing to try and protect the flame on the gas pipe and gave that a go. I don't think anything was happening. Now in this clip, you'll see I'm getting real desperate, and I just chucked a random cone piece of metal in.
It looks like a turbine.
And that worked
Jesus.
really well if my intention was to put Ahmet, my local Turkish waxer, out of business, which I
Yep,
really
there
don't
goes all of your
In
hair on your
fact,
skin.
He's probably going to cry just seeing this footage. And the burn made me real thirsty, and after having some milk, I realized this milk jug is kind of exactly the shape of a valve.
Why do you have that?
I could make as well and put on the boat to get more thrust. All I need are some volvers. Sorry, I mean valvers. And they
Valves?
allow air in this way, but don't let it out the other way, just like a volver. So now I just need to make some kind of plate for them to attach to, which is the
Oh my
perfect job for
God.
my new tool, the Wazer, which is an awesome small water jet cutter that makes light work of metal like
Oh, that's
this.
sick.
And this is really much better than doing water cutting like I used to. Which
Dude,
did work,
like,
but was
why?
quite messy. But now I just draw a picture and it cuts whatever I tell it to. Alright, it doesn't fit, so I try it again and again. And eventually I got them to fit, and this isn't the Wazer's fault, I've just been using MS Paint to make 2D files. Then I just put
Oh
it in
my
a
god,
milk
please
jug
tell
with
me
a gas
you
line and
get
gave
like
it a go.
CAD software.
And if you were shouting at the computer right now saying this won't work, that's kind of weird. And you should probably see a psychiatrist.
I'm not, I'm just questioning why you're doing this in an enclosed garage. Oh, he's back in the old garage.
This milk jug looks nothing like a valved pulse jet, besides the fact it has some valves. But after gassing myself with whatever lead,
Yeah, I don't know why you're not wearing a mask of some kind.
I was feeling quite high, so I just gave up.
Dude.
So I've decided I'm just going to go back to doing what I know best, rolling some cones. And I'm just going to make another pulse jet and put it on the boat. And to save me the hassle of rolling the sheet metal by hand, I snuck into this blind guy's shed and used his roller.
Of course.
Even though I've made a lot of cones now, I've never really got the hang
Ooh,
of
look at
it,
that
but
car
at
back
least my
there.
welds are getting better and better. But the more
Like
I
a
put
old,
it together, the more
like
it was beginning
the
to
car
feel
from
really wrong.
Cars.
So I just
The
drank
movie,
an
whatever
entire
that,
box of wine
Flow? Forget what the name of that
before
car
seeing if
is.
The pulse jet works. And it wouldn't start, and it did this weird thing where it broke my camera. So I'm going
Ooh.
to blame my welds, and I'm going to attempt to fix them
They're better than they
with
were
TIG
before,
welding,
to be
something
honest.
I've never
They're
done
not
before,
great.
And just try smooth out my welds. If you don't know much about TIG welding, this weld right here is what you are looking for. It's got lots of little relief holes which allow excess gas to escape the metal so no cracks will form. Also, the lumpier your welds look, the stronger they usually are.
I don't
You also
think
want to
that's the
touch
case.
tungsten stick to the metal so it melts as much as possible.
Yeah,
That
my
way
friend
you'll
is
have
a
to
welder,
sharpen
and
the edge,
yeah,
meaning you get
he's
lots of work
he would be
breaks
probably
and have a
horrified
nice
looking at
work-life
this.
balance. And then after comparing it to the other one I made, I've realized I made the pulse jets completely different sizes. Which is very weird, as I did follow my plans exactly.
Dude, I can't, like, why?
And that means I need to cut it apart and build it again without any of my proper tools or workbench. But that also means I finally get to
This
live
guy,
out
I
my
swear,
dream
like,
of looking
this is
like a
this is
Kemba.
the whole reason why you measure twice, cut once, or measure more than once. Like, how do you not notice from assembling one part and like why don't you assemble a part and then compare? Like, who just builds the whole thing and then holds it up and be like, huh, this is the wrong size? Like, absolutely not. This is when if I ever build Legos, like when I was growing up as a kid, I would always, like, after like finishing a page, I'd always look it over and make sure it like resembles the picture. Like, this is like what you should always do. Like, because if you don't, you go on like 30 pages down the line and you realize you put something in the wrong place and then you're screwed and you have to take the whole thing apart.
Bicycle repairman.
I learned my lesson. Dude, again, just barefoot. This guy is something else. This other guy, turn your head the opposite direction, my guy.
This song playing right now is Thai, not Cambodian. But I shouldn't have told you, as you're a racist and wouldn't have known the difference.
I wasn't even paying attention. I was just judging whatever you're doing over here.
Which I hope means they work. But I'm going to have to use another boat, as this one is a little too small.
Thank God.
Some idiot made a hole in it.
Yeah, I don't know who did that.
Replace it with a boat with even bigger and better holes in it.
Why is it so long?
But I'm going to fill up the holes, as I don't want any fish getting a free upskirt on me while I'm on the water. So I filled them up with some privacy goo, which I hope keeps the fish away. I'm looking at you, blue groper. In my
I was gonna say you're gonna use like Flexi Seal or something.
Barbecue gas hose in the pipe, which leaked a lot. And that was actually very useful, as it meant I could smell if the gas was on or not.
Of course. Dude, this was crazy.
But since I want both of these to run on liquid propane, which is much more powerful, a leak would be very bad. So I made these threaded inserts on the lathe, which I'm gonna try shrink fitting and pushing inside this pipe. And I don't have a freezer up here, so I had the genius idea of just using the propane to both shrink and expand the part.
Okay.
And it's looking pretty cold, so
that's why you wear shoes so if it falls on your feet. Whoa.
But it should be enough. And now I need to use liquid hoses, which are rated to not explode, unlike this one. But the only difference I can see is that these ones are covered in a fine layer of pubic hair. I also need a tank specifically rated for liquid LPG, as the pressure and forces are much, much higher. These blue ones, which are very expensive. And the reason these bottles are so expensive,
my God, $2,500?
Straw thing inside that sucks up the liquid propane and not the gas. So I just made my own by painting the top of a normal LPG bottle blue.
Dude, I'm like, am I even questioning what he does anymore for these bits? Like, of course, why wouldn't he do this?
Now, I reckon the pole jets are going to look the coolest if they are kind of in a formation like this. And we didn't do
I mean, I think it would be optimal too for balance sakes.
Fit on the boat, and then couldn't resist seeing if it starts up.
Dude, that's terrifying. This is like a fireworks show.
And that sounded more like a fart escaping my butt cheeks than a pulse jet. So something is wrong. So I tried starting it on gas, not liquid, as I know it started like that before.
Yep.
And they seemed like they wanted to start, but were almost interfering with each other. And I think I know who to blame. The wogs. The 2,000 of them inside this ball valve, which means there might not be enough room for the gas to flow. It could also be the exhausts messing with each other, which actually makes sense. Here's the
I thought it might have been the angle that they're positioned, but maybe.
Breathe, but you have another man trying to breathe right in front of your face. And when I breathe, he breathes out. So I'm breathing in, but I'm getting his used CO2 and not clean oxygen. And it's exactly the same with these pulse jets.
Dude,
if they pulse
how does he come up with this shit, man?
But if I put something in between the men, that means they can't breathe each other's breath.
I feel bad for this guy. This guy just gets put through the ringer, bro.
And also combined the combustion chambers with a bit of pipe so they pulse and sync, and then sealed up the gaps with what I hope was clay.
Is it poo?
Okay.
Which still didn't work.
Why would you even test that?
Them all. I'm going to cut the frame in half and put these rubber stoppers underneath so they aren't vibrating each other as much. Then also tilt them away from each other so they aren't sucking each other off. Which still didn't work, which makes me think it must be this T-junction or WOG valve.
I'm just still thinking it's the angle.
It's pulsing up the gas line, or one of them just starts to take all the fuel. So I'm going to try separate bottles, one gas and one liquid. But because it's too hot to get behind the liquid propane and it also won't self-start, I shoved some pipe into a leaf blower and gave that a go.
Makes sense. Why not? The look on his face says it all, bro. Oh my, there goes the camera. Dude, his neighbors must hate him, bro. Dude, the whole thing is moving.
And that works really well, except that I smell smoke. My first thought was that it was my Lebanese neighbor doing a wedding again. Then
why?
I realized it was on my property.
Oh, there's fires.
And that's when I got scared. Not for my life, but for my chairs. As I had left my 2 favorite sitting chairs up the back of the property. And they really, really hate fire.
This was our sitting chair.
Dude.
That was yours.
No, that was yours, man.
No, this is
Hey,
yours.
get out of here. That was your one. You just didn't give me the burnt one. Get out
Dude.
of here.
These guys are so unserious, man.
Yeah, look up.
You gotta be careful, bro. All this smoke from all the fires.
I did not fall back into the ash.
Such a destructive element.
Alright, now I just need to paint another bottle blue.
Oh
if I
my
want
God.
them both to be running on liquid LPG.
Jesus Christ, dude. Just seeing this on the water and just
They're
hearing
still
it,
acting
it sounds like
bit weird and not working
a
as
freaking, like,
consistently as
jet
when one
boat.
is gas and one liquid. And I thought spark plugs might help, and previously I just welded them in, but this time I'm being smart and I made this bung here, which will allow me to change the spark plug when it gets dirty. And I was feeling great about myself until I realized the spark plug I want to use isn't the same size as the bung. So I ended up just welding it in. Then wired up some tasers to this gyrocopter control panel.
Of course.
and gave it
Dude,
a
this is
test.
like the most sketchy thing I've ever seen.
And it's working like half the time. They're mostly still fighting each other. Like in this clip, they both started well until one of them flamed out.
Dude,
And
he
look
just got
how
pushed
the other
back
one
so far.
sucks in the flames.
I thought I was gonna use a divider
So
in the
I put
middle.
the divider back in between them.
There you go.
Which worked, and then put the final touches on, before realizing I have no way to move the boat, which now weighs over 200 kilos. So I
Oh
just got
my
this
God.
old hitch and decided to weld an engine hoist to it, so I can steal this jet skis trailer.
Keep showing my license plate.
I have no idea if this
So
is smart to
unserious.
do. I might just be bending my car's frame, but it did work, and now Big Nut is on its trailer, ready for a test on the water.
Jesus.
A little bit of overhang, right?
It's more on than not.
It is more on than not.
But it turns out this pulse jet isn't as quiet as I thought, and a cop pulled me over in the driveway about the noise.
I'm a dumb guy.
And then, back in Sydney, some cops showed up.
No
And yes,
way.
I may have also turned it on in Sydney. And at first it was quite awkward, as I explained to them that I definitely only ordered male strippers, and they were also 2 hours early. But the cops were very nice and fair, and just told me I shouldn't be running the jet engine next to a preschool, which is also fair. But
What?
how else are kids going to learn about science? They also referenced my other videos and told me to stop making things that resemble guns, which I have never done. And then the constable asked if her colleague could lean on my house as he was feeling quite tired, and I said yes. And they finished by telling me if I turn it on again, they're going to get a warrant and come back and shoot me, which is also fair.
Whoa.
So I promised them I would never ever turn it on again, on land.
Dude, look at that other boat over there. Probably thinking this guy's a lunatic. How do you
And the boat
steer
was
it?
already filling up with water. And I also haven't figured out steering, I just went in circles. So we thought what might help is putting 80 kilos of rocks in the back, as the boat is sitting nose down in the water, so that might
That might
lift the
help,
front
yeah.
up.
Get some lift. Hey, it's better.
And immediately I realized my idea of steering via differential thrust and throttling them up and down was going to be really hard. I'm kind of working in reverse. So I tried again, but this time using a paddle to steer.
Dude, this is so dangerous.
Which just immediately filled the boat full of water.
Yeah. Surprised they didn't make like a lever off the back that was in the water that he could turn or something.
And you'll notice I don't have a heat shield protecting me or the
Yeah.
gas bottles from the pulse jets. And my logic was that the wind pushing past me would cool me down. I was wrong. And after running it for only 10 seconds, I was getting real hot and my skin was starting to burn up.
Yeah, you're
and I
sitting
almost
right next to the
considered jumping
propane
into
tanks
water.
and the two freaking turbines you created.
So we put some more rocks in and then made a heat shield and did it again.
Is this the other guy fishing or what is he doing over there? Or is that one of their friends? I'd hope it's one of their friends, so that's gonna be so loud.
And the noise was starting to attract a lot of attention.
Yeah, that's the goal. It sounds really loud and powerful, like it should go fast, but it's like, I'm probably going the same speed as you guys.
Oh god.
Disappointing so far.
And the confusion of people trying to work it out was definitely the most
And
entertaining
even that
thing
loud,
about
strange
building this.
grinding that was
He just
acting.
thought he was bringing in bigger and bigger
Oh my god, dude. Of course it's posted on
Some
Facebook.
people thought it was a tsunami, military planes, mining
Sound like a-
equipment, our prime minister.
Dude, no
The
way, bro.
closest
Of course,
guess was
dude. It's
definitely
Facebook is
I'm not
dude.
sure what kind
Of course,
Peter
dude.
is visiting, but everyone I've been to usually just sound like beautiful women pointing and laughing at me. And I tried again.
I mean, dude, it's loud. This reverberations, if you're doing it anywhere in a somewhat of an echo chamber at all, like, or in a valley, it's probably gonna sound even louder. It is sick though, dude. I just wish you made like something to steer it better than a paddle.
And that time worked out steering a bit better, and I can turn it in the direction I want by throttling them with the ball valve. But I'm not getting the boat up on plane, and I'm just pushing the nose down into the water.
Well, yeah, 'cause
So
probably
we
it's too
chucked even
powerful,
more rocks into
and
the
it's-
boat and some
it's not very an
huge
optimized
gods
boat.
I found in the water for good luck.
I don't think it's strong enough. I think it weighs too much too. It's not like evenly dispersed. It is probably one of the sickest things he's made. Dude, your ears probably gotta be ringing after that. Oh my god. Dude, look at how hot they are. Oh my god.
I destroyed the jet engine. I destroyed the jet engine.
And that was my best run yet, and I got up to 29 k's an hour. In
Oh,
American
wow.
units, that's the length of 61 World Trade Centers an hour. But I also
Jesus.
destroyed one of the Pulse jets.
Yeah, she went boom. Yeah, she got a little too hot.
And that probably happened because the heat shield was blocking the wind from cooling it and also reflecting the heat
Yeah.
back into the tube. But that means I'm done, which is a shame, as if I had just spent a little bit more time figuring out proper weighting of the boat, it probably would have got up on plane.
I would
and
assume
would've
so
gone
too,
a
yeah.
lot faster. But I guess now
You needed the
we'll never
propane
know
tanks
how
probably
fast the
closer
boat
to
goes.
towards the jet engine and some way
Thank
like
you
remote
so
way to
much
turn
for
it on.
watching. If you like that, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos.
Dude, this is probably one of his best videos yet, dude. That was actually so sick. Like I said, if he had like the weight distribution figured out and some way to control it, oh my god, it would be so sick. Because, dude, that thing is loud as all can be, dude. And still, every time he does these videos, dude, it's like the safety just gets worse and worse the more crazy things he makes. It's like so insane. And then, dude, the funny thing, dude, the people complain. Is that actually true that the Facebook people were complaining about him specifically, or was that just a coincidence that something else was going on? So, because if that's the case, dude, that's just shows you how loud those things are. Actually insane. We'll be checking out more of his videos. If you guys have any other recommendations, leave them in the comments down below. I always check them out and always give them a look over. But either way, like, comment, subscribe for more things. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.